It is 3 o'clock. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Happy Saturday. I was saying that I'm just like this. I just left the food pantry. We served over 160 families today, and it was insane. So I was thinking like how excited I was to like come home and relax. And then I was like, oh my gosh, even more fun. I've got this great interview with, and this is so extra fun for me because I met Steph. We were actually just talking about it through her family. Her dad and I knew someone in common, and she was connected to us, and had so much fun having her as an intern. We got to do some really cool things when I was in DC, so that was really fun. So I miss you.
I know. I can't believe that was what, like 4 years ago?
I think so. Yeah, totally. And I was just catching up with her because, it's popped up in a couple of places. In fact, of recent, I've had a couple of brands that I've said, you guys should be doing, some TikTok videos. And they're like, oh, great. Would you do them? I was like, oh, no. I was like, but I know who will. There's a phenomenal dietitian who does incredible TikTok videos, and I'll introduce you to her. So we are going to talk today about what is TikTok? Why is it an area of opportunity? How is it different from some of the other platforms, especially if you've been thinking about videos for YouTube or you do these Facebook Lives and things like that? And then also, how can we as dietitians, healthcare practitioners, health coaches, naturopaths, doctors, the whole group here at the Better Nutrition Program, how can we be thinking about it as part of our business strategy? Because we don't want to just get into something without having a strategy, because that's what we do if it's a hobby, and it's totally fine to hobby it with TikTok. But if you're going to use it for your business, you want to understand how you're investing your hours, how it could play out from an advertising standpoint, etc. So before all that, Steph, welcome. It is so great to see you. And you were just catching me up a little bit on the fact that you are the only dietitian at about a 100-bed hospital. So for those of you that think she's a full-time TikToker, that is not the case. So take us just a little bit through what you're doing professionally, and then we'll pop into TikTok.
Yeah, so I'm actually a clinical dietitian. I'm the lead RD at a small hospital with about 100 beds, like you said. So I don't work at a specific unit. I see it all. And I will say it's definitely crazy right now with COVID. So I'm doing a lot of tube feedings every day, just a lot of patients on ventilators. So it's exhausting during the day. And then when I come home, TikTok is definitely a nice way to just kind of switch up my mindset and do something that I love. So TikTok, it all started as a hobby, but now it's developing a lot more than just a hobby now.
Oh, I love that. Okay, so what we want to try to do here is give everybody the TikTok 101, and we are so lucky to have you because a lot of what we're trying to do is avoid some of the big mistakes like that we could make. Trial and error is great, and you got to sometimes figure things out. But if we can circumvent some of those, especially from a time wasting or something that could be potentially not good for our business, that part would be great. So for those of us, and I'm just like pointing all fingers at me right now, that really don't know TikTok as a platform, give us like what your sense of what TikTok is and why you got excited about being on there.
Yeah, so TikTok really is an Instagram 2.0. TikTok is just very entertaining. So it gives you about 15 to 30 seconds to create a video. It all started being as more of like a dancing app. Everybody was just hopping on, doing these dancing trends, and it was really fun. So I downloaded the app, and then I was just scrolling through, and there were just so many funny videos. And it's addicting, first of all. So if you download it, you're going to be on there, like you say you're going to be on there for a minute and 30 minutes has passed by. So that's just warning number one. Mm-hmm. But I just remember scrolling one day and I just started seeing these young girls, on my For You page. So For You page is like the Discover page. Is that what it's, or Explore page on Instagram. So it kind of figures out what kind of content you like, depending on your hashtags. And I believe when you download TikTok, it asks a question, what are your interests? So there's like fitness and health, dancing, music, all of that. So obviously you want to click on the fitness and health because that's just going to track your audience or track you to people who are interested in that. So I just remember I was scrolling through and then I just started seeing these people. They're not dietitians. They're not personal trainers. They're just people. And they were spreading nutrition information that was not only inaccurate, but like very harmful.
Mm.
And it triggered me. It was terrifying. They were telling young girls to eat less than 1,200 calories. They were telling us to drink apple cider vinegar every single day, just a shot, and you'll lose all this weight. And I was fired. So that's when I kind of hopped on and I decided just to make a fun video. I didn't think anything of it. I didn't think it would go viral. I made, I would say, like 5 videos in February, and they would get an average of 20 views. I didn't really care. It was just really fun. And then I just remember that one day I posted, first of all, you got me into magnesium. So I made a video about magnesium one day. And then I just remember going to work and my phone just started to blow up. I just started getting hundreds of views, and then it started turning into thousands, 100,000. Everybody was commenting. And I just realized everybody's very interested in nutrition. So that really just got me excited. And that's when I continued just making videos on the daily. And as a new TikTok user, you really want to, it's very important to be consistent and make a video every day. I think at the beginning, quantity is actually more important than quality, which is interesting to say, but you want to kind of post around like 1 to 3 times a day.
Wow.
And then once your numbers kind of start going up, that's when your quantity starts going down and your quality of your videos starts going up. And really want to, focus on that quality. So there's a lot of strategies with TikTok, and I'm sure we're going to get all into it, but.
Yeah. So let's start back to, because remember, I don't do this at all. And we're going to talk a little bit about who's on there, your analytics, all of those things. Oh, I forgot the most important. If someone is not following you on TikTok, what is your TikTok handle? I think I posted it. It's Steph Grasso.
It's Steph Grasso, dietitian.
Dietitian, right. Okay,
Yep.
Great. Perfect. So we got that part. So when you say like go on and do a video, so in the whole world of, I always love like better, not perfect. Obviously here, I'm here talking to you live. I'm not the center of attention. So this doesn't need to be perfect. But if you're going to go live 1 to 3 times a day, especially, you want to have that happening sort of impromptu. When you do a video, are you able to edit it, or do you just go in and do that video right then and there and it's like one take and it's uploaded?
You can go, so now TikTok's really just upgrading the whole app. So now you can actually go back and edit it. You can take a few tries and you can look at the whole video, and then you can go back and like delete a clip and redo it. There's a lot of editing tools that they added on, or you can also download, which this is what I do. I downloaded a side app. It's called Splice. So I do a lot of my editing on there, and then I upload it onto TikTok.
And that's SPLICE?
Yes.
Okay, got it. So it's like Splice. Okay, so that's a great question, because I look at your videos and I'm like, oh my God, they're awesome. That definitely isn't like I would imagine like one hit, like it all happens like that and all the pointing.
No,
okay,
it takes a few tries. In the beginning, they didn't really have these tools. So like just to get like the perfect timing, it would take me like a couple hours to make a TikTok video when this was all very new. So it was a lot of trial and error, but now it's getting a lot better with this new tool. So
great. And then another question, because when I talk to all of you as our colleagues, I will say something like, if you're going to spend a half hour on Instagram or on social media, you need to think about, if my hourly rate is $500, that I'm spending $250, right? And so when I look at my monthly budget, I'm looking at what was the ROI on that $250. Now, in the beginning, it may take you longer to do some videos, and you're cultivating an audience. And if your intention is actually to revenue generate or to use that to bring people into your programs or things like that, we get it. Like, there's an investment cost. But if we just end up TikToking all day long, like, we have to start, accounting for that piece. So we understand there can be the time that's associated with it. So if you were to say to somebody who was starting out doing videos and they wanted to do that frequency, would you suggest to them, like with this splicing and that kind of thing, that they put together a video series and then they post it all at one time? Or is it really important that you post at different times in the day?
Right. That's a great question. It's very important to post different times during the day rather than all at once, because you just want to focus. You want all the audience to focus on one video at a time so your views go up. So I would say I'm still trying to figure this out and experimenting and posting at different times. But I'm realizing, so on Easter time, the best times to post, and it differs between actually week and weekend as well. But in the morning, it's really good to post around 11 a.m., 1 p.m., and then 9 o'clock during the weekdays. And then the weekends, it's really around any time between like 12 to 4 o'clock.
Okay.
So it's just, that's what I've noticed through my trends in my videos. But that's for Eastern time, so that would be different.
And then in Instagram, we put the hashtags at the end of like a video. Are you hashtagging your TikToks, or are you using the hashtag to find people?
Or I use hashtags on my TikToks. And with TikTok, it's very limited of how much you can write in your caption. So the caption has to be very short and simple. It could be funny. I usually just do one sentence. And then your hashtags I usually always hashtag dietitian, just so when people are searching on the app, if you hashtag dietitian every video, your face is going to pop up on that search. So that's my one hashtag I always do. And then you want to use hashtags that are related to your video. So if you're talking about weight loss, you want to do weight loss. If you're talking about, or if you're doing a recipe, maybe do a hashtag recipe. And a very important thing that I highly recommend is just keeping up with TikTok trends, because that's where you really get a lot of views. So I believe a couple days ago, a trend was like home chef. So that's just a great opportunity to make a really healthy recipe and then hashtag home chef. And then people will come to your profile. But I've had some video chats with people who work with TikTok, and what they told me that you shouldn't really use more than 5 hashtags, which I don't know what the process of that is, but if you want more views, it's best to use no more than 5 hashtags.
Great.
So that's just a little secret.
I love that. And then, so tell us a little bit about when you're creating a video. You said, so we want to keep the information on there short. We don't want to use more than 5 hashtags. What is is there a max? And I'm so embarrassed if I don't know these things, but like, is there a max time frame for the videos that you're doing?
Yeah. So I think the max time frame is 60 seconds, but you really don't want to do that. The best time is 15 seconds, just because we all have a very short attention span. I know I do, and I know there's a lot of young people on this app, and they just continue to scroll, and it's less likely for somebody to just watch your video for 60 seconds. So 15 seconds is the perfect timing. 15 to 30 seconds, I would say.
Great. And you just mentioned there are a lot of young people on the app. So a lot of us have we've been so happy to just dismiss TikTok and be like, yeah, but my audience is, 30 plus women who are going through, dealing with, issues associated with, blah, blah, blah. Right. And so we're like, I'm not going to be on there. But what really picked me up, I was thinking about it the other day, is somebody was saying they were talking about how they have to follow their kids on TikTok. So a lot of parents. So, and again, it's if you're working with busy moms, or you're working with, and dads are watching their kids on there. So tell us a little bit about, one, how you, who you are seeing as the audience on TikTok. And then second of all, what the analytics actually tell you. Are they helpful in sharing information or in helping you gather information about your audience? Yeah.
And you're so right about what you're saying with moms, because at work, all of my coworkers, they follow all their children on TikTok, and then they'll say, oh, I saw you on my For You page. So it's not just a younger generation app. A lot of millennials are on here. A lot of older people are on here now. And what's really neat about this app, it does have analytics part to it. And I believe you have to set your TikTok as a business user rather than a personal one. And that's when it really tracks. It tells you what percentage is female, what percentage is male, the age of your audience, and it also tells you what time during the day that you get most views, which is very helpful for when you want to post. So I think my highest views are around 9 p.m. But it looks like most of my audience are actually older, ranging from 24 to upper 30s, rather than the young audience that we all expected to have. So it's definitely growing. And especially during this quarantine, everybody is just home and everybody's on their phone. So I think everybody's just downloading the app. So it's not just for little kids anymore.
Testing it out. And so in terms of, from a business standpoint, you mentioned setting it up as a business page. Are there any negatives or any considerations between having it as your personal versus as your business page?
I'm actually not too sure because I think I just started as a business, so I don't know what the personal side is. I think it's probably going to be if you're just on it personally, there's not going to be any analytics. I think that's really the biggest difference.
On the analytics side. Okay. So
Yeah.
one of the things that I am pretty tough on our colleagues about is do not do social media unless you are very clear about the ROI. And for most people, when it comes to their business, it's not awesome to get likes and follows because there isn't money associated with it. So we're going to have a conversation. There could be money associated. For example, you could get paid to do a TikTok video, so we'll talk about that piece in a moment. But before we get to that piece, what is the opportunity if you're getting people to like and follow you? I mean, people love your videos, right? They're like so excited about it to see them. But is that bringing people over to, and this may be a little bit different with your business, but is there an opportunity to bring people over to your website or to say to them, if you'd like to, message me, if you'd like to get, I don't know, the magnesium evaluation, right? Or the rainbow evaluation. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So I get hundreds of messages every day, and all of them, they're asking if I do virtual consults or if I have my own business or if I have a website. And at the beginning, I am a clinical dietitian and this was my hobby, so I didn't have anything for them. But everybody was just reaching out, direct messaging me. And so that's when I actually created a subscription just to kind of monetize this app. And where I make videos like TikTok, but they're a lot longer and I do a lot more education rather than these 15-second funny videos. So now when people message me, I kind of just direct them to my subscription, and you can link your website on your profile on your TikTok, which is really nice. So it's definitely a great opportunity to really just highlight and market your own business.
And tell us a little bit more about that from a subscription standpoint. Do you take when you're doing your video and you're creating it for TikTok, do you then keep going longer and then that's what you use for your subscription? Or are you developing your videos for your subscription separate from, so they're more like teasers, like that you're developing your TikTok or teasers for those videos?
Right. So I'm doing more just, they're completely separate things. Once in a while I'll do a little teaser, and then in my video I'll say, check out, so it's called Grasso Fed. So I'll say, check out Grasso Fed for more information, and that's when they'll hop on my website. But usually they're just two separate things.
Great. And so you could do a promotion then as well, like in terms of, okay, that part's great. And in fact, I was like, I got to see what this TikTok thing is. And we have the free rainbow evaluation on our website. And so I asked Steph to do a TikTok video for us. I was like, I would love to see, on that part to be able to share. So those are totally opportunities. I want to talk about 2 points of that opportunity. One, if you're not ready as a dietitian to get in, or as a health coach or a doctor, naturopath, if you're not ready to dive into TikTok, that's where collaboration with someone like, I got to get it right, with someone like my colleague here would be great, because you could pay her, or you could say, hey, I'll promote your Grasso Fed in my stuff. If you're willing to promote my thing through a TikTok video, you have a conversation about it. Maybe you have an upcoming program, going on or something else like that. So I want just to remind you that don't invest in doing all of this TikTok stuff if you're not ready. And by ready, I mean if you don't have it part of your strategy. It's not just like, let's go jump on a new, in my opinion, don't just go jump on a new social media unless you want to try it as a hobby first and then, go on that piece. So that I think is very important. So let's talk a little bit about monetizing things. So one of the other pieces, okay, we're going to talk about monetizing, then I'm going to come back to content and making sure that you're conveying things that are appropriate within the scope of your practice and all of these things. Okay, so on the monetizing piece, you also can do paid content. And so when you do that, one, how do you acknowledge that it's paid? And number two, tell us a little bit about like a partnership and how you might charge them and, kind of how all of that stuff works.
Yeah, I'll just talk about my personal experience. So I was not expecting like any of this to happen. So I just remember there's a lot of food companies on this app that you might not realize. There's a ton of people on there. And I just remember getting a message from Sunkissed Oranges asking to collaborate and make a video for them. And at first, I was just going to do it for free. I was not expecting anything. I was like, sure, I love oranges.
I've taught you better. I've taught you better. That's right.
And then I had a phone conference with them, and they told me that they would pay me $1,000 per video. And that's when my like mouth dropped to the floor. I didn't realize all these opportunities that TikTok had to offer. So
let me pause here for 1 second. At that point, how far along were you in, maybe roughly about how many followers, and how long had you, I mean, you talked about only starting this in February, and so we're just into June, so it can't have been that long, but tell us a little bit about where you were at, where you had that conversation and those finances. Yeah.
I believe I was around 50,000 followers. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 50,000 followers is when I've got the first contact. So, I mean, it is a lot of followers, but it wasn't like a lot. You see like 1 million or 500,000. So I was just very surprised. And it's just very important to just post quality content because food companies are seeing this and they want us to highlight their foods or their products. So that's why it's very important to post really high quality content. So yeah, it was around 50,000.
And when you talk to them, how did you talk to them about like, hey, like, do you acknowledge Sunkissed in your video? Do you acknowledge it in the little blurb that you're writing about? Is there a tag that you use because it's a partnership? Tell us a little bit about that part.
Yeah, so I know for Instagram, when you partner with a company, you have like on the top of the video, it says a paid partnership with that food company. TikTok doesn't have that yet. I believe they're actually working on it right now. So it's just really depending on the company and it's what they want. So for Sunkissed, they wanted me to tag them. They wanted me to use specific hashtags. And that was really it. So there wasn't really any formal format for it.
Got it. And then interestingly, I've seen your TikTok videos on Instagram. So talk a little bit about how you do that part as well, like how in developing the content, you're actually able to use the content elsewhere. And are you building into what you're charging them, the fact that you would also share it on your Instagram, or is that just sort of like gravy for them?
That was just, like gravy for them. It was part of like a contract. They wanted both TikTok and Instagram. Okay. And Instagram, I'm just not really as active on it. I'm more just on TikTok, but it's a great way. I believe I started at like 1,000 followers on Instagram, and with TikTok, like I'm at 4,000 now. So I just kind of repost my TikTok videos to Instagram. So for those who don't have TikTok, they can see my content as well, which I find very helpful.
That's great. So when you were doing when you've done the collaborations on that part and you're coming up with it, or I guess I could just say in general with your videos, I see that like you'll do things and you point to stuff and those kinds of things and the icons pop up with the words. Is that what you're actually doing on TikTok in the moment, or is that what you're doing on Splice? I wasn't sure on that part.
Oh, that's on TikTok. Yeah. So all the bubbles, all the text, that's all done on TikTok.
Got it. So how in the world do you know, like, how did you figure out like the spacing that you have, like to know like what you're going to be pointing to and how it's going to actually show up and all of that stuff?
You just have to visualize it in your head. You just really need that creativity side. So what I do when I kind of plan TikToks, I browse music first rather than thinking of, first I kind of think of content, like what I want to talk about. So if I want to talk about carbs, I have that in the back of my mind, or like magnesium or a weight loss thing. But really what I do first is browse music. And once I'm browsing, I'm just kind of brainstorming in my head, like things I can do, like songs that have really good beats to like point to. Mm-hmm. So then once I find a song that I like, then I kind of practice first a few times. But I just, there's really I don't know how I do it. I just point and there's nothing to it.
You just go with it. No, I love that. I mean, I think that's honest, and it's really helpful for us to, a lot of times we think things have to be so perfect or like, laid out or that piece. So
I just go for it. Go with the flow. It's not practiced routinely. So it makes it more real too.
And are you having someone film you, or are you always filming yourself?
I'm always filming myself. So I invested in a tripod for my phone and then one of those ring lights because good lighting is a big thing for TikTok videos. That's like a must.
Yes. And you're doing yours, you said, like when you come home from work. So historically, like now it's summer, it's lighter, but it could have been darker out. So it's good that you have, that lighting on that part.
Right, right.
Oh, it's so awesome. I just love it. Okay. So I just want to open it up to whoever's here. I have more questions and I'm happy to keep that going. But I did want to make sure that any of the questions that you have, any of the business things, please, first of all, say hi, or if you have a handle in TikTok you want us to follow, of course, also drop that in here. And what I wanted to think about, or what I want to chat a little bit about, is you mentioned one of the reasons you got fired up to get started doing this is there's a lot of people there that are doing have content that is not great, right? Like, or not even not great, harmful, inaccurate. I mean, it's the whole world of social media on that part. So how do you, I'm observing, one is in your handle, you've included your dietitian, so people know that piece. How do you, I've seen a couple of them where you're wearing a white coat. Like, tell us a little bit about how you're maintaining your professionalism, like you're communicating your professionalism, but also, is there any concern about how somebody might, like be seeing it as like giving advice, like, that it's not personalized advice, I think is what I was trying to badly come up with. So first, how are you thinking about maintaining your professionalism, like letting somebody know you're a dietitian? Yeah.
So I find it very helpful putting the word dietitian in your username, just so when people look at the video, they'll automatically look at your username. And once they see dietitian, they're like, oh, she's credible. She is a professional. So that's one thing. And then another thing is in your profile, your first thing should say registered dietitian, nutritionist, if people don't know what a dietitian is. So kind of just highlight it everywhere. If you're a clinical dietitian, wear your uniform. So I wear my white coat just to give them a visual of what I do. And then also I realized what really helps, the first 5 seconds of a video is the most important part of the video. You just want to make sure you grab the audience's attention. So I like to put the word dietitian the first 5 seconds in my video, like advice from your dietitian. So people will stop scrolling, be like, oh, I should probably listen to this. So I think that's very helpful. Super smart.
Dawn is very grateful because she said she's brand new to TikTok, or new to TikTok. So thank you on that part. And then Sally was actually asking a question. Your screen looks so good right now because you're bright and popping, and then behind you is blurred. So what are you using to blur your background right now?
Oh my goodness, I didn't even know it is blurred. I have no idea. I think this might be a Skype thing.
Yeah, I think it's her. I think so. She's brand new to Skype. We were talking about this. You're new to Skype. I have her in Skype, Sally, and it may be a Skype setting. And ironically, it could be a Skype setting on my end that's blurring her background because I know I worked on this with somebody else. But anyway, you look awesome, Steph. So it's great on that part. Absolutely. Chriselle is new to TikTok, and I wanted to ask this question. Tell me, on TikTok, are you seeing videos where people are giving advice, or have you seen in different languages? Like, so are you seeing, like, if you're a Spanish-speaking dietitian or a Portuguese-speaking dietitian, have you seen anybody doing things in different languages?
I have not, but I follow dietitians who internationally, so that I follow a lot of dietitians who live in Italy, and they obviously speak their language.
Yeah.
But I haven't really seen that too much, but I think that'd be a really awesome thing to see.
What a cool thing. Yeah. So in following, that's another question that I had. So it's like, is it like Instagram where it's like, I follow you, you follow me, like that kind of, and are you following as many people or as following you, or talk about that?
I'm really just following people who I'm interested in their content. So I don't just follow dietitians. I follow a lot of doctors. I follow a lot of dentists, just a lot of healthcare professionals. And what's really neat, I've actually developed so many friendships, relationships with these people, and we collaborate together. Like I think it was 2 weeks ago, I collaborated with a plastic surgeon. I collaborated with a dentist, and we talked about like nutrition and dental health. And it's just really cool, just meeting all these different people.
So tell us more about what that collaboration could look like. I had no idea, so I'm just fascinated. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess with the plastic surgeon, this one, he was very into health and wellness. So we kind of just did like 7 tips for self-care, and we have each other's numbers. So we would just text and send each other videos and kind of just time it right. But with the dentist, it was really cool. So what was it? I think it was foods to avoid before going to bed because it'll give you cavities. So we talked about like carbs, sugar, and it would just kind of go cut back and forth with each other. And it turns out really good.
So the videos are not edited together. They're like his video, your video, like, and they're doing it at that time period. So you just say for like the other half of the video, they're following. So they would need to be following both of you to see the videos. Is that correct?
They don't have to follow both of us to see the video. So what we usually do, so one person would post it one day, and then a couple days after, the other collaborator will post it. And it's a great way to get more followers because that plastic surgeon, I believe he has like 500,000 followers. So wow. He posted it, and then I got a lot of followers just because people saw and he tagged me in his caption. And I remember my favorite collaboration was actually, her name's Dr. Julie Smith. She's a psychologist in the UK, and she has almost 1 million followers. And I remember we met very early on, I guess in February, and she commented like on my video saying we need to collab. And now she's, oh my gosh, she's like a celebrity in my eyes, but she really helped me track more followers as well.
And so they're actually posting a video that you've done. So it's just they're posting your video and vice versa. Like you might post a video just of her that she's done. Okay, I wasn't following the collaboration part. Yes. She's saying I've yet to make my first TikTok video, but I'm super excited to get started. Oh, that's awesome. Yay, perfect. Okay. Anyone else have any questions? Because as I said, I can keep going, but I promised Steph we would do a half hour. It's Saturday. She's off work, so I want to make sure she's able to enjoy her day. But I definitely, if anybody has any questions, and most importantly, to follow her, it's in the information here on our page, and also she's at Steph Grasso Dietitian. The health system that I consult for would like me to start TikTok as a way to get my nutrition messages out to the middle schoolers that I teach. Can you comment on that? What a cool idea. What do you think?
Ooh, wait, say that question one more time.
Sure. The health system that she consults for would like her to start TikTok as a way to get her nutrition messages out to the middle schoolers that she's teaching.
Oh, that's great. Great idea. Middle schoolers, they're all over TikTok. So I support that. Yeah. What kind of questions do you have for that? But yes, I support that.
Yeah, we love it. Dawn, are you thinking that you would do the messaging? Could you engage the students to actually be a part of the video? That might be really cool. And I'm wondering about that, Steph, actually, and Dawn, so if there's a question associated with, like, in terms of, she's happy to comment on it. I just want to know what advice you're looking for. But I had a question for you on that part, Steph. How do people comment? Like, can people comment on your TikTok videos? Is that like, or you were saying people are messaging you? What are the ways that you can share, that you can connect with somebody if you like their video?
Yeah, you can comment and just like Instagram, and then you can just direct message users as well. So it's pretty much the same as Instagram. Yeah, and then you can also duet videos as well. So say you really like a video.
Oh, I may have had you freeze. Let's see. Oh, no.
And kind of make a new video with them. I don't know. I find that really interesting.
We lost you on the duet part. I think something happened with Skype where it went down for a second. Can you just say that part again about the duet? Sorry, that you were interested. Yeah.
If you like a video, there's an option you can duet a video. So that means your video will be side by side with that video that you like. For example, I made a video last week, and it was just like a video of me eating ice cream, basically saying, this is me eating ice cream and I don't care about diet culture. And I kind of made that an opportunity for people to duet with me. So they're eating their favorite food side by side with me, and we're kind of like dancing together. So that's a really good way to connect with your audience too.
That's awesome. So duet would be an option that you can offer where other people could duet with you.
Correct. Yes.
I like that.
And now that just reminded me, another big tip I recommend is just really engaging with your audience and just creating an audience. So in the beginning, I would always have like these 3 people always commenting on my videos, and I always comment back. in the beginning. And I don't know, I developed a really cool friendship with them. And then my audience, more and more of the same people would comment. I would always comment back. And I feel like I know them just through the comment section. And so once you really, I just find it very helpful to just really get a little close audience.
That's great. And when you're messaging them back, can you say, hey, here's the link for Grasso Fed, or like, and you can do it that way. So that's great. Okay, awesome. So Leah was asking, she said she actually saw your collaboration where you were interviewed by the anesthesiologist, and she wanted to know how you set the sound up.
Yeah. So that's interesting you said that. So TikTok, I think, just added a new update where on the top right, you can adjust the sound. There was a button doing that. So if you click that button, it just says edit sound. I turned her sound down. I turned my sound up just so the sound was pretty equal. But that's a new thing that they just developed.
You can do
Still learning about it, yeah.
And Dawn, yeah, I think Dawn has some questions about doing this whole thing for the middle schoolers. So I'm going to leave you guys. Dawn, I would recommend that you follow her on TikTok and message her there, or you can message her right in here. That part's totally fine. But that might be so that you guys can connect on that one as well. Awesome. Steph, my dear, thank you so much. I'm so excited, first and foremost, for your success. I love this. I love the balance that you've got in your, this like pretty intense clinical setting, and then you're having all of this fun here, and you're really paving the way. So thank you from all of us, because it's really great to have somebody who is doing this and can share the experience, the do's and don'ts, and we're really excited. Yeah, it's been fun.
Thank you. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to message me on TikTok and just say that you were on this live webinar, and then I'll definitely answer your questions.
Awesome. All right, everybody, go enjoy an awesome Saturday. I hope you are safe. I hope those around you are safe. If you're getting out there and protesting, yay. Stay hydrated. And also do keep remembering to wear masks and all of those things, because we are still in the middle of this virus, as you were just talking about with your patients there. And make sure to follow Steph on TikTok. And do let us know. Show us some videos if you decide to do TikTok. So drop them into the group here. We would love to see them, and start to sort of, I think all of us can elevate each other as we decide to. I'm not sure. I'm still not sold. I might just continue to connect with you on doing TikTok. I'm a little afraid of my ROI and my time if I get in there and start watching the TikTok. But I love that you're doing it. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Awesome. Take care. Thanks. Bye, Crucell.